Thanks, Abba, for such a nice introduction. Let me just open my chat. Yeah, so I hope you are able to see me and hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. All right, great. So, good evening, everyone. I am super duper excited to be here. So I'll start by just introducing Tradingo and Swastika. So Tradingo is a discount broking venture powered by Swastika. I would just like to ask if anyone has ever heard about Tradingo or Swastika. In the chats, please. Yes, no, anything that you would want to type. Nope. Okay, I see a lot of no's. So that was expected because our target group is 30 plus, 30s to, we have customer in the age group of 80s as well. So as Sanjeet told me that most of you are in your 20s. So sooner or later our paths will cross. So I would like to thank Plum for giving me this opportunity and for making me get out of this comfort zone to give this talk on such an interesting topic. I will be pretty honest. I'm really nervous, but what the hell? Let's get started. So I have prepared a presentation to make you fall in love with the stock markets. So we'll keep it pretty interactive, and I will time to time I will keep on asking you your yeses or nos. So I would hope for your quick responses. So let me just share my presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
All right, great. So so tonight, as I said, I am going to make you fall in love with the stock markets. So I will start with this question, a simple basic question. Has or have you ever fallen in love? Yes, no? Anything wild, crazy you want to mention in the chat? Free to do so. Oh, I mean, someone is saying yes with stocks. A lot of people are saying yes many times. Okay. NA, not applicable. Okay. So great. So a lot of people have fallen in love. Some people probably would want to fall in love. So for tonight's session, let's consider stock markets as a real person with its own haseen chehra and nakhre. And let's see how we can fall in love with the markets. So there are stages of falling in love. I mean, I have gone through these stages myself. And even with stock markets, if you want to fall in love, you have to go through these stages. So let's start with the first stage. The first stage says interest. Now this means that you've become interested in a person. You have started stalking that person. I am sure a lot of you are already in this stage with the stock markets. As you've enrolled for this session, you are attending this session. So yeah, I think you are already interested. But I will start with some financial planning tips so that you don't become creepily interested in the markets. Before you dive into the markets, you should know of some basic financial planning goals and objectives. So the first one says cover your risks. Do not invest all your money in the stock markets. That is very important. I have seen a lot of our customers, putting in their life savings into stock markets. Please do not do that. So How to cover your risks? So whatever your monthly expenses are, take them on the higher side, multiply them by 6. So I mean, if you, God forbid, if you are out of work for the next 6 months or so, you should have enough of those savings to cover your costs, and put this fund in some liquid fund. If you don't know what is a liquid fund, we can take this up in the Q&A session. You can also Google. So the next one says health insurance. It's really very important. I think COVID has taught us to all have a health insurance. So make sure you and your dependent family members have a health insurance. Also have a term or a life insurance. An important point here is that sometimes insurance is missold to people, disguised as an investment product. Do not fall for that insurance plus investment product. Keep insurance separate and investment separate. So a term plan is a better choice, I would say, if you ask me personally. Now, what would you do with the rest of the money that you have? Definitely not let it rot in your savings account or in an FD. You are in your 20s. You have a lot of time with you to put this money to work and see the power of compounding. So now, out of the 100% of the money that is left with you, I would say invest 30% of that money directly into stocks, 30% into equity mutual funds, and 30% in liquid funds again, so that you can withdraw them for that trip that you want to take or that phone that you want to buy. So liquid funds, liquid funds give as much returns as FD, and very easy to pull money out of liquid funds. So that, and 10% in gold bonds. India has been a very heavy investor into golds. I disagree with a lot of people who put a lot of money into gold, but I would still say that have some hedging in gold as a product, because in cases of geopolitical disturbances, the price of gold tends to go up when the markets crash. So this, as you are in your 20s, this could be a good personal finance strategy. Obviously you can change these percentages as per your wish. You can invest 20% or 10% in stocks if you do not really have the time, and the rest of them into mutual funds, or vice versa. So let's move on to the next stage. I hope this tip on personal finance is very clear. Enough of the numbers. We are back to the stages of love. The next one says preoccupation. So when you have shown interest in a person, you've stalked that person, then there are times when this person is always there in your thoughts. It's constantly there. You can't avoid it. You've seen in a lot of movies, and you might have personally felt that as well. So just give me a yes or no for this question. Are you using a stock trading app daily, or are you checking news related to any stocks daily, or are you checking out prices of stocks more than checking out people on a dating app? So okay, a lot of people are saying yes, some are saying not daily, once a week. Okay, no, some people are saying no. 50-50, yes, definitely. Just checking apps once every 2 hours. Wow, you are madly in love. So a lot of you are already in this stage wherein you are checking the rates of stocks on a daily or once a weekly basis as well. Those who are not there at this stage, I would just like you to start by the sectors or the companies that are visible in your day-to-day life. So maybe you are taking a cab, you see a lot of cabs are our Maruti cabs or Tata cabs. So, you can put those stocks in your watch list, in your stock trading app, and maybe start tracking the rates of those stocks and start reading some news about these companies. You use HDFC's bank account or Axis Bank's bank account, so you can maybe add these stocks to your portfolio, to your watch list, and start checking the rates, start checking the news. For me, I would say that I have been using Parachute hair oil for the past, I don't know how many years. So Marico is the parent company. So that is how I also I also track stocks of the products that I use in my day to day. So it's a good way to start. So once you are at this level of preoccupation, I am 100% sure once you start checking the rates of those stocks and checking the news, you are going to be preoccupied with the thoughts of these stocks, and you would keep on checking the app. That's a very interesting thing to do. The next one is idolization. So you love everything about this person, the way she eats that burger or the way he smells. And in our context, if you love a company, you would probably love everything about the company, the branding, the ads, I don't know, the product. So you would absolutely start loving these companies once you are in this stage, and it happens. It just happens with a lot of customers. So can you, if you are in this stage, can you write down, can you let me know of the companies that you love? It is going to be interesting. Titan, Apple, Pidilite, wow, IRCTC, Tesla, HUL, SBI cards. Very interesting. Tata, Apple, Happiest Minds, Asian Spain. Okay. Tata, Infi, Google, LIC. Wow, LIC's IPO is coming, by the way. Google, Karza, Tata Elxsi. Oh, when I said Google, my phone just popped up the OK Google thing. So Tesla, great. I think a lot of you have picked really good stocks, and I can certainly see a lot of these companies have a very bright future. So there are some tips when you are idolizing these companies. Some tips that you need to remember. Do your background check. Don't be blind. Don't be blind in love. I have seen a lot of customers, they at this stage they marry the company, it seems, and they love everything, the bad things also. So for background check, you should always look at the promoters of the company and the management of the company, how strong their compliance practices are. These information, this kind of information is available online on Money Control, on Economic Times, on a lot of news websites. So this background check, plus I am going to let you know what else constitutes to background check. Do not fall for these small companies or penny stocks which are not really traded very regularly. There would be times when the stock prices would probably go 10x, 20x in no time, and you would always get to know and feel that you have missed the bus. But trust me, we have seen a lot of our customers, they sometimes get these SMSs, they invest in these companies. As tips, I would just like to clarify SMS as a tip. They would just invest in these companies, and then suddenly there would be some kind of a pump and dump scheme, and they would not be able to sell their holdings also. There would be no buyers. There would be such times. So just stay away from penny stocks. We do not recommend any penny stock to our customers. So coming to background check, there are some parameters. I'm going to let you know how you can actually enter these parameters on a website and get a list of stocks to start off with. So look for a company that is 1,000 crore plus in terms of market valuation, a decently low PE. There are some very good companies which would have high PE but still are like really, really good. So if you do not know what is PE, I did not know what was PE some, I think 5-6 years back. So that's completely okay. You can Google it. We can take this up in Q&A session as well. Look for companies with high promoter holding. If the promoters or the management are invested themselves into the company, they would have more skin in the game. So that's a good sign for any company. Then you can look for things like, is the sales are the sales numbers growing? Is the company debt free? Quality management. So I will just quickly tell you how you can do it. So there's a website called screener.in. You can make a note of it. So on this website, once you log in, it's free to use. Once you log in, and you can run this query. I will give this query to you in the chat towards the end of the session. There would be a list of companies that would come up. So list of companies which have all these criterion met. So you can if you do not know where to invest, you can maybe start with list of such companies. This would give you some good companies. Now again, coming back to the next stage of love, insecurity. So you've fallen in love with these companies, but do these companies love you back? There are times where you would always think, is this the right company for me? Will this company give me return? Cut to nahi jayega yaar, loss to nahi lag jayega. So we have all been there and we will continue to be there. So have you ever felt these emotions? You can write down in the chat, yes, no, whatever. And if there is anything in particular that you would like to mention, you can write down in the chat. Have you ever been scared of the stock markets? Have you ever had losses in the stock markets? Have you ever thought that you've missed the bus? Everyone else has gotten profits, but you did not. So you can write down your views in the chat. Yes, yes, bank. Okay, Paytm IPO, yes. Highly insecure when stock price trades way higher than 200-day moving average, okay? Always miss the bus. But I think about the long run, Nika, okay? Because of the myths you hear, you remain scared. Bajaj Finance. Yeah, so it's a very, very common feeling. And fear and greed, we say, are two emotions that you can't really avoid, but you need to somehow keep them in check. So it's all about patience. So first things first, you need to pick good quality stock. Okay, nobody in the world picks all stocks, 100% of the stocks that are very good quality. There would always be stocks that are not great, but if you have trust on your analysis, there would be ups and downs in the market. If you're there for the long term, I personally recommend you to all be there for the long term. And at the end, patience wins. So the feeling is not good when you see all your stocks in the red, but I would just like you to stay tight, hang on. And we have seen a lot of cases. In fact, I will show a chart to you at the end of the presentation. That would help you in looking out for a longer term investing as an option. The next stage is intimacy. So now when you've taken the plunge, so you have started to love some companies, you've started to idolize some companies, you remain fearful, but then you are there for the long term. So, you have kind of managed your insecurity. So you tend to start becoming comfortable with the stock markets and with stock picking. So as you tend to become comfortable with your partner, so there are some intimacy tips which you need to get into at this stage. So when you become comfortable with stock picking, you definitely should diversify your portfolio. Have at least 10 stocks in your portfolio. uh, it's a I mean, it's a no-brainer. A lot of influencers in our industry have been talking about diversifying your portfolio, so it's a very good strategy. I would totally recommend that. uh, Next one, geographic diversification. So try to invest in the stock markets in from other countries. So it has become very easy these days to invest in the US stock market. So US has the best of the world. Google, Netflix, Amazon, I don't know, you can be fans of a lot of companies over there. So definitely have some investments over there as well. The next one is, form a routine, a habit of investing. So, set a frequency. You receive salary on the X day of the month. Have a frequency, like after how many days you receive a salary, you would put more money into whatever investments that you've made. So this thing really, really helps. There are a lot of people who just invest one time and then just let the investments be there and do not invest later on. It does not really help. So just keep investing. Investments, or rather stock markets, are not like your one night stand. So when you get little bit of profit, do not get excited and just sell and take out the money. If you do not need the money, let it be invested in those particular stocks. I mean, this is a psychology study over here at Tradingo. When there are losses, most of the customers tend to stay in the markets and remain fearful, insecure, but still do not get out. But when there are even the slightest bits of profits, they become excited and just sell. So, and we have seen whenever, I mean, in a lot of cases, when they sell, the stock prices go further up. So if you do not need the money, don't sell yet. So the next stage, which is the freak out, or I would say jealousy and freak out stage. So you all might be having that one friend who comes to you and says कि stocks में पैसा लगाया था 5 गुना हो गया return. Have you had this friend of yours? Tell me in the chat. Yes. Okay. I have been there. I have a lot of friends who say 10 गुना हो गया, 15 गुना हो गया, 3 महीने में 2 गुना हो गया. I don't know. 25 दिन में पैसा डबल. Okay. So yeah, some financial pages on Insta, just stay away from them, I would say. So दुख तो बहुत होता है when you see your friends making these kinds of returns, but the reality is no one talks about their losing bets. They would always avoid the embarrassment. So people always talk about their winning bets. So while you can find the story interesting, you can always ask कि भाई लॉस कहाँ पे किया ये भी बता दे. Or and it's always good to stay content with whatever that you have. And if you have confidence on the analysis and the research that you have personally done, or if you have confidence on the recommendations given by your broker, so, and if you're there for the long term, so that's, I mean, there's no point being jealous. Also, the freak out stage is this kind of a stage. You would have, I mean, in the last 1 week, we all are seeing the markets going pretty down. So, I mean, it's not a good feeling. But I will just show you, when you zoom out, and when you are there for the long term, I think all your fears and worries should go away. These kind of events would happen. These are cyclical events. These would happen. But if just stay invested for long term, that's, you would be able to survive all the turbulences. So with this, we come to the last stage. We have seen all the stages of falling in love. I also remembered my college days while making this presentation. So there is just one tip over here. Stay committed. So you are in your 20s or 30s. That's the best time to enter into the markets. No one will ever be able to predict when is the right time to get in or when is the right time to get out. I can't say, even Warren Buffett can't say. I mean, the markets might fall. No one will be able to tell you when will it start rising up or for how long it would go. No one will be able to tell you. All you need to do is stay committed with the markets. If you have set your routine, invest regularly as per your strategy. I think that would give you that should be able to give you very handsome returns in the long term. We have a lot of stories over here wherein people just forgot. There was a very interesting case of Eicher Motors. Someone bought some stocks in, I think, 2004, forgot about it. 15 years down the line, we saw that, this person has a lot of holdings. We decided to reach out to them and let them know that we have not interacted with you. Do you even know of these holdings? He was surprised that he has these holdings, and I think those holdings grew by, I don't know what, 25 times. So, and he did not even remember. So if he would have remembered, he would have probably sold those stocks for 2x or 3x the returns. So yeah, I can see in the chat, same story for MRF shares. So these are some very interesting stories. So I would just quickly summarize. So with the first stage of interest, before you start investing, plan your personal finances first. Start tracking some big companies if you do not know which ones to track. Look at your day-to-day products. Probably talk to some sellers of these products. See how this company is doing. You can add these stocks in your market watch and start tracking the news. Idealization, don't be blind in love with any particular stock. Do your background check, look at screener.in. You can also take your broker's advice. Keep patience and stay invested for the long term. Any insecurity would be countered in that manner. Diversify your portfolio, diversify into multiple geographies as well. Again, have faith in your analysis. If you have picked the right stock, stay cool, stay calm, do not panic, zoom out, and in the longer term, markets might give you very good returns. and then stay committed. That's the last one. So I hope I was a good love guru.